What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's me. It's VKG back in the building. How you guys doing on this lovely Sunday? It's evening time. We're a little bit later, but it's because we have a three-state collaboration today. We got a double header. We got some of your favorite streamers, some of your favorite YouTubers, and some of the fastest guys in Forza today. So we got an exciting show. Thank you guys for jumping in. Remember, it's a live stream for members. So if you guys want to make any comments, you guys got any questions for our guests, please save those for later. Please jump in. It's a public viewing, so anybody can watch and sit back and kick back and get to know these guys. I'm really excited. I've been on YouTube now for about 6 months trying to get myself acquainted with the community and how it works and sim racing and different games and all kinds of different stuff. So we find ourselves traveling to different channels. We find ourselves meeting different people. And I got to say that it's hard to find one of these guys without the other. If you guys are in any of the communities with the early birds, if you guys are in the Forza community, you guys know these guys. I want to introduce them as two good buddies of mine. I've known these guys for about 5 months. And like I said, it's always been both of them. And I haven't seen two people who've been more supportive of communities, more supportive of streamers. And it's my honor to have them here. So without further ado, we got Grimm and Erratic. What's up, you guys? What's up, guys? Here, one more time. Now the audio's on. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Hey, what's going on?
We always have some kind of technical difficulties, man. Thank you
Oh, yeah,
guys
it
for
always
being
happens,
here.
man.
Holy smokes, dude. I feel like this has been the longest week ever with all the holidays. We're all in America, so we know the holiday bustle. It's been crazy. I don't know if you guys have spent time or got any warm meals this week, but I hope you guys had a good week. It's been a long week for myself. How about you guys?
Just had dinner with my mom and brother, and you know, a small get together, quick dinner.
Nice.
Everybody kind of went their own way. So
No, not me. Took 3 days off work and just been chilling, trying to relax a little bit.
Nice. Still living the bachelor life, Grim. I see you, bro. I see you.
Yes, sir.
So
You know it.
it's post holiday. We got a little bit late, but we have a good show today. We've talked about a lot of stuff earlier. It was awesome kind of catching up with you guys, getting to know you guys a little bit before the stream. It's one of the things that I really enjoy about this kind of behind the wheel series. And in the last 5 weeks, I've been able to meet, 4 different individual separate people and 4 individual separate stories. Today we're going to double up on that. I get to meet you guys a little bit better. Like I said, I've known you guys for about 5 months. I came into your guys' streams, and you guys and I don't know, I know we've talked about some of the games, but I know that Forza, I don't know if you guys started on Forza, but I know Forza is the primary game that you guys are playing. Am I correct on that?
Yes, that is correct.
And you guys, how long have each of you, I mean, we'll start with Erratic. How long have you been on Forza?
Since Forza Motorsport 3.
So that's, I mean, I'm not a big Forza guy. You said you've been playing this game like 30 years.
No, gaming 30 years.
Gaming 30 years.
Been playing Forza for, it's got to be close to 20.
Dang. Has Forza been out for 20 years? Are we that old, guys?
Yep.
Gosh. Jeez. So now so I didn't know that Forza had an actual motorsport game. So when I was growing up, I think Forza for me was a little bit arcadish. And that's kind of why when I saw you guys playing, it seemed like a totally different game than I've ever played.
Yeah, so you probably played the early Horizons. The very first game that came out was Motorsport. I think it was Motorsport 1 and 2, and then Horizon came out, if I'm not mistaken. And then Forza Motorsport 3, and then Horizon 2. And then they kind of flip-flop back and forth every other year.
Okay.
So I don't think Horizon came out until after.
Maybe after 3?
I don't think it came out until after 4.
Maybe.
I think that it was Motorsport 1, 2, 3, 4, then Horizon, and then 5, and then Horizon 2.
Jeez.
And then 6, and then Horizon 3, and then 7, and then they did Horizon 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Before this game.
Yeah. That's insane. I didn't know there was that many Forzas. Do you guys, I know that there's a difference between one that's kind of arcade based and one that's simulation based. You guys play the simulation based one, right?
Yeah. They are both arcadish. I mean, they're not really classified as a sim, if you want to call it that. They're more of like a simcade. But the Horizon version is basically Need for Speed. It's a better version of
Gotcha.
Need for Speed. It's a very arcadish. The physics are, very
Goofy.
sloppy. They're
Gotcha.
goofy, but
So
the
I've been
motorsports more better. Yeah.
that's been kind of the blowing me away lately when I watch you guys. So we'll dig into the games a little bit more, but it's primarily Forza. So if people are running into Grimm and Erratic, it's usually on a Forza stream. Lately though, it's been some ACC streaming with the early birds. We'll shout out to early birds in a little bit, but let's kind of figure out where you guys are from, kind of what got you here. We're in a 3-state kind of joint right now. I'm out in Arizona. Erratic, where are you checking in from?
Texas.
Big state of Texas.
Lived here most of my life. Traveled around, but mostly been here. And I've always found my way back here whenever I haven't lived here. So
It's a big state. It's hard to get out of.
it takes a while.
Grimm, what about you, bro?
Lived most of my life in Michigan. When I was younger, we bounced around a lot. I actually lived in Arizona for about a year. Did
Oh,
some
really?
really early schooling down there for about a year. And then, yeah, most of my life is in Michigan. But a lot of different spots in Michigan, bounce around all of Michigan, all around the thumb.
My mom's actually from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I was just watching on the weather. Like they're super cold right now. Like the Great Lakes get
Oh,
extremely cold right now.
yeah, it's cold up here right now.
Man, but you guys know like the desert life. At least you got a little bit of taste of desert life. In Houston, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Houston gets super hot.
And humid too
It's
in
a
Texas.
swamp. It's
Yeah.
not a desert.
You guys
It's quite
have
the opposite of
you
the
guys have
desert.
the wet heat. We got the dry heat. Both of them will
Yeah.
bake you from the inside.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Michigan, Texas, Arizona, which is so. And I'm trying to build this up because at some point you guys have started gaming. We got some stats here. You guys Erratic, you started about a year ago on YouTube, and Grimm, you've been on here for about 3 years. And I was talking to you guys a little bit earlier. 8 months ago, at some point, there was this joining of forces. And I don't know how you guys want to piggyback or kind of tell that story, but I was heard a little bit about it. Why don't you guys take the floor a little bit and tell me how the G and E combination came to be?
All right,
Go
you
ahead.
want to take it? All right, I'll take it. I think it was April or so. I was streaming. I didn't have like anyone watching me at the time. I think at max I had 10 people watching, and a couple people from chat wanted to join in on the races and stuff like that. So I was like, sure, join up and stuff like that. And we had more people come in, and then more people, and then it eventually turned into where, we were just racing with community members from chat and stuff like that. And then Erratic popped into one of the live streams and said that he never did live streaming or anything like that. So, and a couple people were telling him to do it. So I was like, yeah, let's set it up. Let's just pick a day and we'll both go live at the same time. We'll just join up in a hopper together and open up both of our chats and see what happens. And yeah, first stream was a success, and I don't know, just kind of worked out. We didn't really plan anything or talk about anything or anything like that. It just kind of happened.
Like a match
And
made in
then,
heaven.
yep. And then I opened up the Discord. We co-own the E&G Pit Lane Discord, so we both co-own that. And yeah, we just opened it up to the community.
Yep. Pretty much.
I like you guys because it's like you get both sides of the coin with you guys. One side's a G, one side's a E. And you'll get on Grimm's stream and he'll be talking and then you'll get on Erratic stream and he'll just be focused. Like extremely focused. And then Grimm will give you a warning that he's gonna be focused, and then Erratic will just get really focused. And then you'll talk to Erratic and be like, I'm trying to focus.
I don't know, man. I would say Grimm is focused more than I am typically. He's got to be on that wheel.
Well,
I'll
yeah.
sit here and tell people what I think about whatever, like we were talking about earlier.
Go on about Apple versus Android for an hour.
We were just going on a rant, and we'll get back to it. Like you said, we were having good talks before. But before we rant, Erratic, I want to talk about kind of what got you onto YouTube. kind of what brought you here. We were talking a little bit. You've been on pad for the entire time that you've been playing video games, and just recently you got behind a wheel. You said you've done like 75 hours behind a wheel. How's that
Yeah,
kind of how's that kind of transition been from, playing video games your whole life on pad to like finally jumping on the wheel?
I mean, the wheel is fun, right? But it's for me. I only need it on certain games, and like on Forza. Yes, I'm sure if I sat here and put in 100+ hours, that I would eventually be decent. But I don't know how
Right.
long it would take me to get to the same pace that I run now on controller. ACC being a new game and more compatible with the wheel, that's where I get my wheel practice. Now, my channel is Forza based. It's what, Forza is what it was founded on. Forza is what everybody wants to see and race. So I'm mostly on controller. But when I feel up to it and, I want to get some wheel practice in, I usually save that for early birds with Yaki and use the wheel on
Shout out to
ACC.
Yaki.
Yeah, shout out to Yaki.
Shout out to Yaki. Got to get him on here. I've been telling Yaki, man, he needs to get on here. So, and I remember Erratic, I remember when you got the wheel, because I watch your channel. One of the fun things about watching the way you drive is you do from the overhead view, and you're really, really extremely accurate with it. And I was asking you one time, and you was like, "Has I ever driven any other way?" And when you got on the wheel, it was like you kept doing that. And then I saw you in ACC. Are you racing the same way on the wheel that you are on pad as far as the overhead?
No, no. In ACC, I'm in cockpit view. Like the more zoomed in cockpit view,
Right.
um, where you're just behind that front windshield and you can just barely see what your RPMs and gear and all that are.
Yeah, I think it's called dash cam or something like that, where you're just past the steering wheel, but you can still see
you
the
can't
dash.
see the wheel, but you can still see the dash. Yeah.
Right.
So I race in that view on ACC. It just feels the best in that game to me. Kind of like third person feels the best to me in Forza, and really just when you're on pad in general, I think third person is the way to drive. But the funny thing is, dude, I'm faster on certain tracks in ACC on a wheel with almost no time than I am on pad in Forza with 10,000 hours or more.
We were
of
talking
Forza
about the other
gameplay.
day, like and I remember talking to Hoggy about it because he was making the point like his favorite way to drive on GT is the bumper cam, because you kind of feel like you got the most accuracy, you got like the mirror, you got all this information. And then, but when we get into ACC, it's like it almost feels like you have to drive inside the car because they did such a good job with the inside of the car. Like you can zoom in to where your wheel's gone, you can line it up. I feel like your peripherals are lined up right, even without, having a 3-screen. You get so much more data and like, immersion with driving with that. Erratic, Grimm, what do you prefer? Because on Forza, you're running the hood, right? Do you do the same thing on ACC?
Nope. In ACC, I run the dash cam. In Forza, I run the hood. Just because the way that they did the cockpits in Forza is extremely claustrophobic. And in Forza, you don't have the option to actually adjust your distance or like your pitch or angle or like anything like that. You have one option, and it's FOV. And FOV also, if you go too far, gives you that like speed tunneling effect.
Right.
So it's just it's too weird. They made the roll bars too big. They made the cockpits way too cluttered and claustrophobic. You can't see anything. And I only have a single monitor setup, so I'm not running triple screen. Maybe it would be different if I had triple screens, but to be honest, Forza cockpit just it's really tight. But in ACC, you have all the freedom. You can adjust your camera. You can do everything. So
Would you
it makes it
guys
so much easier.
Would you guys recommend? So, and I'm a very new. You guys know I'm new to this. I started out on GT, like just getting it up. Like, hey, I got to get a wheel. I was inspired by seeing YouTube channels. First one I ever jumped on was like Rory's channel, and that just led to, dang, all these different guys are streaming. When I found you guys, I was like, oh, I got to get Forza, and I found out Forza wasn't on PlayStation. Because I don't really know about this stuff, and I know that you guys are both what you guys have Xbox tags, but you guys play through PC, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, what would you guys say is like the biggest advantage in running a PC variant of a game rather than like getting on console?
In general,
I mean,
or Forza specifically?
yeah,
I mean, I would say probably Forza, and then I guess in general as well, especially since you guys play ACC now.
I would say personally, just my opinion, Forza on PC is garbage. Whatever they did to make the PC port for it it's trash. If you want Forza, I would recommend getting it on console. In general, highly recommend PC gaming. I
yeah,
think it is far superior.
yeah,
I've heard so and because I've heard that with ACC as well is if you're on console it's like a limited version as far as we get on PC where it's like unlocked, and I'm just now getting the ACC with the early birds. I know that you guys have been linking up with the early birds. I can't remember a time where we haven't all, if I've jumped into the early birds that you guys aren't already there.
Yeah.
Grimm, you're already like shredding the track. I know that you have a ton of accolades in a lot of other games. You're actually a very successful gamer. And Erratic, I know you're kind of like in my boat where we're trying to figure this thing out, and sometimes it's overly frustrating to watch these guys rip around the track. I think a lot of that's maybe our newness to the wheels as well. Grimm, I don't know how long you said. How long have you been on a wheel, and what are you running?
I've been on the wheel for about this year.
yeah.
So yeah, about almost 1 year. I think we're coming up on the 1 year mark. I've been on the pad for 20 plus years. So, and on Forza I think came out in 2005. So if that gives you
And did you just jump on the wheel and you were, pissing greatness like you do right now? It's been hard watching you play ACC, man.
No, it was definitely a learning curve. I will say, because I was already decently fast and had a few world records and stuff on Forza on the pad, switching to the wheel, I already knew the inputs I needed to do to be fast. I just needed to figure out a way to replicate that on the wheel, no matter how it felt, no matter how awkward and weird it felt to do on the wheel. I already knew the physics of the game, so I just had to figure out a way to replicate that on the wheel. And it took about 100 hours to match my pace, but that's about it.
That's it. So when you're saying that you had to figure out how to replicate the inputs and stuff, kind of what was that process like? What was like the trial and error? Did you just go out and race and race and race and just keep adjusting little things, or was it like you had to completely change inputs from Forza to ACC?
Well, Forza to ACC, how it feels on the wheel is once you get all the settings adjusted, they're actually not too far different. But it takes a lot of tweaking on Forza to get the wheel to feel good. On ACC, feels good straight away. Haven't had to change anything. But on Forza, it takes a lot of tweaking, a lot of adjustments. So what I did, I loaded up my old tune that I had on my pad for the wheel and tried to I already knew the tune was good, so I just had to figure out how to drive it and then make fine tune adjustments, to the wheel settings and stuff like that to try to make it feel good, and then it just kind of came together.
So did you Erratic, have you had like the same thing? Is it plug and play for you and Forza, or is like what kind of wheel did you end up choosing on?
We have the same thing.
Same exact thing?
Yeah, the only difference is my base has the chip that would let me play Gran Turismo.
Oh, nice. I haven't tried.
Other than that,
I heard you say before that you were going to play some Gran Turismo. Have you started dabbling in? Have you tried it yet?
no, I messed up my pedals, so I need to call Fanatec, figure out how to get that problem fixed.
I get
and then I
Fanatec on
should be
board.
able to play.
I hear Fanatec is making a recovery, so I hope that is swift.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's jump into you guys are both pretty dang successful, and we'll get into kind of NASCAR and kind of how Forza's introduced that. I know you guys are playing a ton of NASCAR. Grimm, you mentioned earlier you got some accolades. You got a couple world records in Forza. I like to joke around. So you were the fastest man in Forza. What kind of? Let's go through some of those. I know, and then we'll get into, because I know that you're good at some other games other than sim racing. So go ahead and boast your record a bit.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, I come from a drifting background in Forza. So I started out as a drifter. Um, Forza Motorsport 4 was like the first Forza game that I took a little bit seriously that had leaderboards, like a massive amount of leaderboards. So I really dove into that and just got addicted to seeing that number climb up the leaderboard just slowly, slowly, slowly. And then Forza Motorsport 7 came out, and then I got into racing. So I haven't really been racing until, about 3 years on any game. So the only thing I did was like drifting. So, and then in Forza Motorsport 7, I noticed that I was putting in decent times racing. So I put in more practice. And then I think I had, at one time, 7 world records
Holy.
on Forza Motorsport 7. And then Forza Motorsport, the new one came out, if you want to call it 8. It's not technically called that, but this one came out, and then Erratic actually got me onto it. It's his fault. He recommended driving the X-Class AMR Pro, and it felt really good, so I decided to start chasing records there. And I think at one point I had 10 total.
Wow. Didn't you just recently like set a record at Nürburgring?
Yep, Nürburgring full.
Wow.
Yep.
What was the
And I
time
still
on
have
that?
it to this day. I think 5:54.
What kind of class was that? What kind of car was that?
In Forza, it's called X Class. It's like a prototype. It's the AMR Valkyrie prototype
Wow.
car. Ridiculous.
Holy smokes. What about you, Erratic, man? What's you got any world records? Or are we all just sitting here
No.
looking at this guy?
Gaming achievements. I have completed Elden Ring.
That's an achievement.
I died a lot, but I beat the game.
I've been-
Yeah. I mean, okay. Here's actually one that was kind of I'm a little bit proud of. Forza Motorsport 6, the career mode. I want to say it was 600 something races. Okay, it was a lot, and they had endurance races. And the endurance races, you have the option to race them like full length. And I did. So 24 hours of Le Mans was, chug a couple of energy drinks or whatever, and we're doing 24 hours at Le Mans.
Holy smokes.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so every single one. I completed every single race in career mode in Forza Motorsport 6, including the endurance races at their full length. Took a long time.
So you guys are like
100%
die-hard Forza guys.
That
It's
is an
just what-
achievement right there.
That's
What I've always played,
commitment.
Holy cow.
Holy smokes. So, and then, all right. So you guys do a lot of endurance streams. You guys do a lot of long stream formats. I'll jump in on a lot of the members streams, and you guys are playing just completely different games though. I know you guys are big fans of Elden Ring. You guys have mentioned a couple of them. We have here that you guys were trying to lay them out for me. We got RTSs, RPGs, ARPGs. Tell me kind of what the difference is, and maybe tell us kind of what your favorite game to stream outside of sim racing would be.
Well, if you want to know the differences between RTSs, ARPGs, and stuff like that, I think Erratic could give you a little bit more detail on what the differences are. I can just give you what I like to play.
So, I mean, basically, right, like, RTS is real-time strategy, right? So think like, Age of Empires is one of, like, the OGs. So if Age of Empires...
Civilizations, probably.
Yeah, it's one of
Love
those
those
top
games.
down, right? Like
Love
you're
those games
God mode,
for
right?
sure.
Basically, where you control the people and you tell them where to go and what to do and what to build and what to, all
Right.
that stuff. And then RPG role playing game, right? So think Skyrim, Dark
Ah.
Souls, Elden Ring, whatever. ARPG is kind of a mix. Think of it kind of as a mix of RTS and RPG. It's that top down type view like RTS,
Mhm.
but you're still a single character RPG. So you want to think Diablo, Diablo 2, Diablo 3,
Ah.
that kind of
PoE,
stuff.
yeah, stuff like
PoE
that.
for those who have played it.
Played
Diablo's
some
been around
Diablo.
forever. So
Diablo's been around
yeah,
forever, for sure.
yeah,
Grim, I think you
Yeah,
said he played Diablo too.
yeah.
and
Still
then
installed on my PC.
what was that? Did that cover all of them?
Yeah.
I think
Well,
so.
you
That's
said,
it.
and you said you beat Elden Ring, right? How long does Elden
Yes.
Ring take to beat? That's like an eternity game.
Depends.
It depends on how you play, how much you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to just straight beat the game, like if your goal is you know exactly what you're doing, where to go, whatever. I mean, it also depends on if you use glitches or not. I mean, there are people that use a glitch to beat the game in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
But it's a game
For
that if you sit there and play the whole game and you do the whole thing, I mean, it could take you 400 hours.
yeah, I was gonna say for a reference, I played
I need
Dark
more
Souls.
life.
I played Dark Souls 3, which is a lot like Elden Ring. I played Dark Souls 3, so I have a lot of knowledge on how to play Elden Ring, and it still took me on my first playthrough 100 hours.
Wow.
And then afterwards, I actually did a deathless run in 7 hours.
So when you guys are sim racing, so when we sit in this chair for like 3 or 4 hours and we feel like we got, you know, beat by a ton of bricks, you guys are just getting ready to go, man. It sounds like
Oh,
yeah,
after 3 hours? Yeah, that's halftime.
we got some gamer endurance to step up to. Dude, that's crazy. You guys have so video games, it's safe to say, has just kind of been in your guys' lives your whole lives. You spent a lot of time playing video games. Video games for a lot of people is an isolated kind of activity, man. A lot of people are sitting in their gamer room or they're sitting in their gamer chair or they're, it's kind of a way to get away. YouTube has given us kind of this unique platform to socialize and build communities and network with people and do a lot of cool things that kind of go outside the realm of just playing the game. The sim racing community in particular for me has been extremely welcoming and people who want to be kind of community centric and kind of want to grow and learn because it's a very hard racecraft is so much deeper than I think anybody assumes until you actually get behind a wheel and you start playing it, the way that, a lot of you guys play. I'm learning a lot, but when we get back to the community side, when we kind of jump around channels and we're looking at places to go, you see that Grimm logo pop up. You see that erratic logo pop up. We have 24 people watching. We've had a bunch of people coming in here. You guys have a huge fan base. And I can't say that I've ever seen anybody or any duo, especially, be more supportive at growing communities and more supportive of channels and the way that you guys pay it forward. I know Erratic, you had an amazing stream not too long ago, and I know that it was almost emotional. I think it was emotional. I remember watching it just like, dude, you deserve this moment. It was an amazing moment.
Extremely emotional, yeah.
What really stood out to me is for the next week, it felt like all you were doing was just paying it forward. You came into my stream, you paid it forward. I watched you and I was just like, this is how it should be. So I know that you guys both are extremely passionate about. I know there some of us are men of few words, so we're getting a little bit serious here. But I know you guys are extremely passionate about your communities and having a certain mission and kind of a footing that you guys stand on that's very similar. I'm gonna give you guys the floor a little bit. I don't care who starts. I think we said Erratic. We're gonna start with you and kind of just what's the passion behind the channel? What's your mission? Why do you help people so much? And just kind of what makes you out here.
It's a loaded question.
It is.
There's a lot to that.
I'm gonna let you go on first.
Okay, so hit me with those one at a time. It'd be a
So-
lot easier for me to answer you.
So So what's your channel's mission, and why are you so passionate about growing the communities and supporting everybody else?
So my channel's mission, uh, basically just to be inclusive. You know what I mean, and not like in a. I see the word inclusive right now carries some negative.
Yes, touchy one.
It's hard right now, 2024, man.
Right.
It's rough out
So
here.
I don't even know what word to use, but it's basically I don't care how fast or slow you are. Okay. I don't, as long as you're not a butthead, right? As long as you want to race clean, you want to learn, or you are already the fastest guy and you just want to show us how fast you are, whatever. I don't care. You're welcome to come race. Um, and basically, it's just to promote the clean aspect of racing, which is something that outside of a controlled environment like a live stream, where you're in a group of people, you have someone that's kind of in charge of this group, whatever. You can't control how clean
Right.
people are. You hop into some random public lobby with a bunch of people who are, lost their thumbs somehow, and they can't steer, and now they're just ramming in everybody. Like, if you come into our race and do that, then we just kick you out. So we have some control over, you know what I mean? How clean the
God
racing can
mode
be.
engaged.
So yeah, so basically, that's really the goal: is to give people a place to meet other like-minded racers who want to race the way you're supposed to, and not the way that we often find ourselves having to race in public lobbies. Um, So that's the main goal. And then again, to give people who may not be, because there are people who just aren't comfortable with their pace and they're worried about, oh, but I'm not fast enough to race with you guys or whatever. And we tell them, it does not matter how fast or slow you are, dude. Like, you could get lapped 5 times. As long as you're not ramming people, you're good. You're welcome.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's that whole
Integrity
package.
based.
Yeah. Well, and like, we have guys that are really fast and whatever, that have met up and through our streams, and now they're running their own leagues, or they're running. We have some guys that met another guy who runs a league, and now they go and joined. Doing their stuff, and so I mean, I just kind of like being a place to chill. You know what I mean? Like, I just like being a place for people to
Here, here.
casually hang out and enjoy a hobby together.
It's my favorite part about the community in general is we all have one thing in similar is that we are in common, that we have all fallen in love with this. We've all made a certain investment because this isn't the cheapest hobby in the world. This is something that we all kind of save up for, we grind for, we polish these things down, we make sure there's no dust on them, and you want to enjoy yourself, especially with that kind of commitment to a hobby. I mean, I like to race RC cars, and I mean, my RC car at this point is, it's like a 800, and it's not even a huge scale, but it's like an $800 piece of machinery that I've put together and spent time on. And when I go out here and you bring your monster truck and wreck over mine, there's a certain kind of etiquette here, So I wish I could make a little community of RC racers over here where we just follow the rules and I could kick them if I wanted to. But so I appreciate that, dude, and that's kind of what all your channel's about, dude, is really being chill. I know that you're really big on positivity and everybody being able to communicate without getting offended and things like that. Where does the passion to promote others come from? Where does all of the I mean, remember Chris Wood said, he said there are many hundreds of people that owe their memberships to Erratic. I mean, I owe memberships to Erratic. It's I know members on my channel don't necessarily owe, but can definitely give you, a tip to their cap, like, hey, thank you, man, for paying it forward. Why do you do stuff like that?
So it took me. I wanted to be a YouTuber, streamer, whatever, for a decade before I actually made a channel. And that was because of a lack of courage. You know, it was just worrying too much about what other people would think or whatever. And you know, I basically, when Forza came out, I was really considering it. I was like, I'm not terrible at the game, you know, like I feel like I could provide entertaining races. And, you know, the person I was seeing at the time said that I should just do it. So I did. And once I started getting going, you know, and met more and more people who were also just starting to get going or who had been doing it for a while, but maybe that weren't super huge, right? I guess I recognized the courage and dedication and commitment and all that stuff that it takes to do this and wanted to reward that as seeing them chase, you know, if they have the courage to chase their dream, I'm all about supporting that. I want to help you reach your goal because you know it what does that do? It gives you that little bit of encouragement to keep going.
Motivates the heck out of you, that's for sure.
As
Right.
they say, a rising tide raises all boats.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like that. A rising tide raises all boats. I like that. Who said that? Who said
I
that?
have no idea.
It's a good one.
I don't know where the quote came from. It just came to me. So.
It's a good one. Well, Erratic dude, you're uniquely, you know, compassionate about the community. It's been awesome to kind of see you be extremely real and just genuine in your streams. And I think that's, if you're going to come check out Erratic's community, if you're going to come hang out, that's what you're going to find is genuineness. And that's what I'm all about trying to find here. You said something earlier about wanting to start a channel and the confidence and kind of that last person that kind of gives you that last push. And that's one person, you know, that kind of gave you that last push. And, you know, I try to be, you know, in unison with all the other people who are motivating others to be one of those people who push others, because that's what it took for me. It took my son telling me, "Hey dad, just try it. You know, you got the time, you got the rig, just go for it." So I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for doing that. I know there's a lot of people who appreciate you and respect you for, you know, everything that you do for the community. So again, thank you. Grimm, I know that you got a pretty strong stance on a lot of things, and your channel is a reflection of that. Your community is a reflection of that. The way you speak to people, how you treat people, is how you expect to be treated. Let's talk a little bit about the passion behind your channel, and if you want to jump into, you know, why you're so helpful with everybody, because you two are pretty much one and the same when it comes to supporting others.
Yeah, well, I mean, I try to do what I can with the memberships and donos and stuff like that. I mean, nowhere near as generous as Erratic, but I try to do what I can. But let's see, where do we start? What got me into YouTube? When I was younger, and like I said, I've been playing Forza for a long time. So when I was younger, I noticed that I was decently good at drifting. So I wanted to do YouTube and stuff like that when I was younger, but we just didn't have the finances to be able to do that. Very, very poor family, so we just didn't have the funds to be able to do it when I was younger. And just kind of put it out of my mind for a long time, and kind of settled into the 40, 50, 60, 70 hour work grind for the rest of my life. And I don't know, I just kind of got tired of that. So I was like, you know what? I have the funds now to just do it. So I still play Forza, so why not? So I just got tired of it one day, and yeah, just hit record and went from there. But
Took the leap of faith.
yeah, but as far as Erratic being generous and stuff like that, I mean, my channel wouldn't be where it is right now without him. Like, I've been doing YouTube for what I'd say 3 years now, November 25th. And I think before Erratic came along, I was at less than 1,000 subs. I wasn't even monetized yet.
You were 480 something, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't even monetized yet. So Erratic doing what he does has we've gained over 1,000 subs just this year doing the things that we're
Teamwork
doing.
makes a dream work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what I've noticed, man. I know there's a lot of course we have the toxicity. And I know that we were all talking about this before it started, and we wanted to kind of get back to how we kind of combat the toxicity with our communities, and cyberbullying, and people dealing with mental health and things like that. I think, as especially, and you guys know this, you guys are much larger than I am, and you've been here a lot longer than I have been. When you start to venture out and you start to see things, you start to sit on channels, you see a lot of the negative, right? um and I think the three of us all together, and I think one of the things that kind of brought us together, and one of the passion that we share, is all three of us are against disrespecting people, or calling people outside of their names, or taking out frustrations on other people, or really attacking anybody, especially with any kind of mental health, because you have people who are streaming for a wide variety of reasons. You have people who are on disability, you have people who are handicapped, you have people who just have been dealt some bad cards in life, or maybe have been dealt with some traumas in life. And I know that just from our discussion earlier, we all feel pretty strongly about being against that kind of behavior and stuff like that. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't stand for that.
Nah, I bully everybody.
Oh, there you go. This is the opposite side of the coin.
There you go. Gotta flip it. You get one of the other.
I
I've
don't stand for any of that.
always been somebody trying to, if I ever have bullied, it's to bully against a bully. You know what I mean? It's like, hey,
Yep.
don't do that, because and I think I've seen all of us kind of take stands against that, and I want everybody watching today, and everybody who gets to watch this and gets a chance to kind of hop on our channels, to understand that it's a no-fly zone here. And I know that Pit Lane is getting bigger. You guys are growing very rapidly. You guys are expanding your games. You guys are working in the ACC. You've recently partnered up with the Early Birds. What's that been like?
From my point of view, I mean, I was forced into playing ACC. So my hands were tied behind my back. Erratic forced me into it. So, but no, ACC's been great fun. I mean, Yako's been a warm welcome as always with the setups and stuff like that, and what to do, what to look at, wheel settings, all that stuff. So diving into that game, fully thinking I was way over my head. No, it's been great. Been awesome.
Forced. Forced.
Let's
and
talk.
then is immediately the fastest one out of all of us.
Right?
dude.
Yeah. Every single
Immediately, and it's not even close. Like just a second plus a
Shredded
lap
us.
faster than everybody
I
else.
didn't mean to.
You
Crazy.
gotta slow down for the bros, man. So the
Could have
early,
pretended to struggle, okay? Like even for like the first day or two.
yeah, it was day
Oh yeah, this
one,
is pretty different. Oh look, I spun out. Whoops.
right? The tune's not
Then
working.
go run your faster lap than everybody else.
So how many people are in the Early Birds now? We got you guys, we got Yako.
Oh boy. I mean, a lot of people come in randomly, but yeah, the main ones, probably Yako for sure. He hosts it. And then Ruthless.
Ruthless, and then Blanco.
Legend
and then
is in
the
there.
two of us. Well,
Tex
as
comes
far
by
as
every now and then.
streamers go, like as far as people like streamer YouTubers, it's mostly those four, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yaki, Blanco, Ruthless, and then Grimm and myself.
Mhm.
And then beyond that, it's typically really only Red is kind of the like Texas Red. He's kind of the
Yeah.
only one that's in there actually racing consistently.
We'll definitely
So it's not
have to get a
huge
link for
group,
that.
But well, Texas Red doesn't he doesn't stream or anything as far as I know.
But if you're just starting on ACC, if you want to learn ACC, if you want to meet people who are helpful at ACC, you got people who are extremely fast at ACC. They got all the tunes. They got the access to the discords with all the tunes. They help. I mean, shout out to Ruthless. Ruthless gifted me ACC on PC, period. You guys helped me get through the DLC content. You guys helped me get, just all the track setups. Help me get my car running, all that. And because ACC has a lot of things that you don't think about. It has your starter switch, it has pit limiters, it has the collisions in itself. It's an entirely
Just
different
put all
penalty
that on
system.
auto, bro. Just put all
Right?
that on auto. You don't
And
need
that's
to
what
do
you
all
got to
that.
hear.
Yeah, I'm coming from the Forza world, man. ACC was a bit much for me, but getting the hang of it.
It's that next level for sure. So would you say that ACC is, as far as sim goes, another level above Forza then?
For sure.
Oh yeah, as far as the how the car reacts to what you're doing and stuff like that, as far as real life, absolutely. It's way more realistic than
100%.
Forza. Yeah, absolutely.
110%. Well, guys, I want to shout out to everybody who's in the chat. See if we can get any questions rolling. I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. It's for me. I got a couple of questions for you guys, if you guys don't mind. Grimm, I wanted to ask you what kind of pedal setup you're running and wheel setup that you're running, because I didn't get a clear layout of that. And I know Erratic, you're kind of running a very similar one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I am running the McLaren GT3 V2 wheel, the CSL DD 8 Newton meter boost pack base, CSL pedals. I'm not using the load cell because the spring on the load cell is way too crazy stiff. So
Gotcha.
right now I'm just using the regular pedal.
And it looks like
And
you
then-
got soundboard set up too, huh?
Yeah, a little Elgato, a little sound deck. Yeah.
I got to get into that.
Stream Deck.
That's one of the next like kind of not so crazy things I want to get is an Elgato sound deck.
Yeah,
They're
it's pretty
fun.
nice. Yep.
What kind of
And
PC
then,
are you running?
So I have, I'm not sure what, the brand name of it is. I think it's CyberPower PC. It's a micro center PC.
Gotcha.
But it's got a 3090 Ti in it. Ryzen 9, I think 5900X, I believe. 64 gigabytes of RAM and a 2 terabyte SSD, I think.
Dang. And is that kind of OP for racing, or is that kind of just right? What would you say is that like?
I mean, for gaming nowadays, I can run anything at 2K max setting,
Wow.
no problem at all.
Nice.
And it probably cost me, the PC nowadays probably costs about $3,000.
Wow. That's what you need, folks. And then Erratic, you got a really, really nice setup here, Erratic.
Yeah, his is way cleaner than mine.
So nice, so nice, so nice. Tell me what you got here. I see the PS5, I see some curved screens. What are you running?
Yeah. So I have two 27-inch 240 hertz 1440p Samsung G27s, I think is what they're called. Maybe G29, I don't know, something like that. And then the PC, the motherboard and the graphics card are Asus. The 4090. I got 64 gigs of DDR5, an i9 13900K, and 9 terabytes of SSD storage.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That sounds like it can run some things. And then you just got this rig set up here with the wheel and everything. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it basically,
Excuse me.
after my channel kind of got off the ground, a lot of people that I knew were playing Gran Turismo. And, that's part of why I bought the PlayStation and stuff. And I was going to play Gran Turismo on the wheel, but I've messed up my pedals somehow, so they don't work on the PlayStation. They work on the computer just fine. But as soon as I go and try to get it working on Gran Turismo 7, the wheel reads just fine, no problem. Pedals, nothing. So yeah, it's a Fanatec GT DD Pro, same wheel that Grimm has, the McLaren GT3 V2.
I heard that
We have the
McLaren wheel was nice and sturdy feeling.
I like it. We have the exact same rig, the RS12 Carbon. His is just made for big people, and mine's made for regular people. And then I have the Club Sport V3 pedals,
Nice.
which are the issue right now with why I haven't been able to try Gran Turismo 7.
I hope you
But
get that figured out.
I'll answer Yield 2D's question
All right,
real
you
quick
see him?
from
Yeah.
the chat. Yeah. I tried to try GT7 and I was unable to try GT7 because my pedals are so something's just wrong with them. I view Gran Turismo racers the same as any other game's racer. If you are not a tool, you are cool. That's
That's a t-shirt.
you know what I mean. So it's I don't think that's the thing. I don't care what game you play. You go play Trackmania. If you're not a tool, you're cool. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and that's my opinion about it with every game.
I guess racers recognize racers, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's just why I don't understand why when I get comments like I had recently, oh, so you don't get a penalty for going into the pit lane at Mach 10. It's like in Forza, no, because that's how it works. And they're like, yeah, well, you would never make it in iRacing. And I'm like, ask
Not
me how
playing
much I care
iRacing,
about.
yeah.
Ask me how much I care about iRacing, brother.
Right.
That's right. I haven't tried it, not even once, because I just don't care. Like, why do you care?
Right.
I don't care. So don't be a tool. And
don't bring that negativity over here, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't even have a problem with iRacing. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're playing iRacing and you're a cool dude, you're a cool dude.
Right.
I can get down with you.
Shout out to Yield, man. Yield's an awesome dude. I love being on Yield's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, same opinion here. Yeah, as long as you're cool, I don't care what game you play. What you do doesn't affect my day-to-day basis, so cool. If you're a cool dude, awesome. If you're a good racer, awesome. I don't care what game you play. Well, we all have the same passion, is to get on track, have good races, run side by side with people, run good lap times. That's our mission. Right. Doesn't matter what game we play.
And that's what brings us all together, man. What Papa say? You're looking forward to iRacing NASCAR next year. Oh, you guys been running the NASCAR stuff. You guys run NASCAR so much, it makes me literally just want to. I don't know how much Forza Motorsport is, but I want to get that just to run NASCAR.
It is fun.
Yes,
it looks like a blast.
I will be trying Evo, but no, I'm not interested in iRacing NASCAR. Forza introduced NASCAR. It is more fun than I could have ever hoped for, and I have no intention of going and trying to find that same level of enjoyment in a different game for the same game mode. Forza has done it well enough, in my opinion, that there's no need to try NASCAR in other games. And if the problem for a lot of people with Forza is, you go into these public lobbies, you play Forza NASCAR, there's no sim damage or anything, that's an easily solvable problem by playing in a private lobby. And plus, in a private lobby, you can remove the restrictor plate and do all this other stuff. So Forza offers everything that I could ever want or need out of NASCAR. So that I will only play NASCAR.
Making me want to try it, Pop.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
My opinions on Evo, from what I've heard, I don't know a lot about Evo or anything like that, but from what I've heard, they won't have GT cars, which is personally the only reason that I would buy the game. That is my favorite type of racing.
Yeah.
And if they don't have GT cars, I might as well play Forza letter classes, because I'm going to be driving a Mazda Miata anyway.
Right.
So, if
didn't know that.
they have GT classes, for sure, I will 100% give it a go. And if it comes at a later date, then I'll just wait until the GT cars come out, and then I'll buy the game. But until they have the GT cars, I don't plan on playing Evo.
So do you guys do any like rally racing?
I have not.
I'm trying. Oh, I did Dirt. I played Dirt back in the day.
Dirt was cool on controller.
Yeah.
What I'm afraid of is because of all the feedback that it uses, is I'm gonna burn out my wheel that much faster.
Nope. Not if you're using a direct drive wheel. There's no moving parts. There's no touching parts.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was
It's all
kind of one of
free
the
floating.
that's kind of one of the reasons why I got, the DD1 in the first place. Was I figured if I get, if I get something that's strong and sturdy and I only use it for, for this easier racing, it'll last me a while. But I love I love the rally like kind of vibe, the sport. I love the co-pilot kind of sensory. And that's one of the things I like about ACC too, is I feel like there's more immersion, with you got your guy in your head, you got your pit crew, a lot of cool stuff that I wish a lot of games would kind of merge together and come together and make like a super sim racing game. Because there's a ton of them. Everyone has something good. I love GT for the fun factor, ACC for the accuracy factor. iRacing looks like it could be just next level OCD tuning, and then Forza and these games that we've grown up with their whole life that have kind of a legacy bond with us. They're just getting better and better.
Yep. I will say the biggest thing that immersed me in ACC was the sound of the pebbles hitting the undercarriage of the car.
Yeah.
You don't get that in Forza
I like the vibration, like the internal car vibration, like kind of the sounds like you hear,
Yep. Like if you go off the racing line on ACC and you go into the pebbly part of the track, you hear all those pebbles, even though you're on the track. You hear all the dirt on the track and everything hit your undercarriage,
right?
Which you don't get in Forza and stuff like that.
Corey said it's been fun watching you guys race NASCAR. I agree, man. I agree. If you guys don't know these guys, you need to jump in. It's a lot of fun hanging out. The cool thing you guys do is you guys always link the stream. I'm assuming through what, Discord, and you guys can. It's cool because if you're watching one, you're kind of watching the other. And I'll jump in on Erratic stream and say hi, and then I'll hear Grimm over the intercom saying what's up. So you get a 2-for-1 special every time. That's what I'm trying to show you guys, man. It's two stories. Merged together. These guys have been together for 8 months. Guys have over 4 years of YouTube experience. They have decades and decades and decades of gaming and racing experience. They have some of the best tech, some amazing computers, some amazing rigs. They're evolving. They're getting better. They're always trying new things. It's not about coming in on the channel and being the fastest guy, even though Grimm, you held world records. So it's not like someone can come in there and ego trip on you anyways. It's like, hey, come on.
I'm gonna run into a stone wall.
Calm down, little guy. I'm in a rig made for big people now.
Yeah, speaking about that, the only reason I got the big seat is because they were out of the little ones.
It's awesome. It looks like a king's chair, man. Like
dude, it's huge. I'm always sliding down and stuff. It's huge. I've seen like we go to the carnival and stuff, they have like the oversized chairs. I wonder if at the expos, if they have like, like a shack rig or like a big show rig or something like that. Andre the Giant seat up there.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, because he's not a small dude. Like, I'm a small dude. He's not a small dude, and I look the same in the small chair as he does in that chair.
It's all spoken
I'm
beers,
a small dude, man. I'm only 5'10", 155 pounds, man. I'm a small dude.
5'10"?
Yeah, I'm only 5'10".
Oh, okay.
I'm like 5'10" too.
You said you were 6'4" or something.
6'4".
No.
And Rory, I think Rory's like 6'5".
Yeah,
I saw
all
he
has the same seat as me, and he's like way up here.
We saw all the pictures of like the expo those guys did, and I realized like all the UK guys are giants. Like even Yako and Hoggy's Hoggy's like 6 foot something, and then you got
Jesus.
Yeah, Dutchy. And I think the shortest one out of all of them might have been Sparks.
Sparks or Marley.
Sparks or Marley, and Marley's not short either. I think Marley's like 6 foot. But it's just, it's those guys over on the other side of the pond, man. They're giants. We got all this superficial food. Our water's contaminated.
That's our problem.
He said Chris Wood said Sparks is 9 feet tall. Alto's 5'7", 150.
I'm like 5'8", 150-ish.
Yeah, so see me, I got girth, bro. I stopped getting taller and started getting thicker.
Well, you've been working out for a long
I'm the
time.
runt of my family, man. I think I started working out way too early. And I mean, I've studied enough to know that there's like, it's like, there's all kinds of studies against, lifting early does whatever. But I mean, I started lifting heavy at like 13 because I wanted to wrestle hard and play football. And I'm the runt of my family. I'm literally the shortest guy out of all my dad, my uncles, everybody. So I just started like getting thicker. But all
I
right.
haven't been able to do that very successfully either.
It's eat, man. It's force. I got an extremely fast metabolism. My mom is tiny. My mom's like 5'1", 100 freaking pounds. She was a hurdles champion in Michigan when she was younger in high school. So I was fast. I could jump high. I could hit hard. I was solid. But I tell you what, dude, the world is lucky I wasn't 6'2", 6'3", because my son, he's 15 and he's 6'2.5" right now, and he's showing no signs of slowing down. He's already 200 pounds. So I'm just happy I passed that on. I'm in the club because I got a tall son.
Yeah,
Gotta
go
keep
get
him
him
in
in
check.
football or something.
Yeah, I got to give him a little, well, he knows, man. His dad's tough.
Just a reminder, like, hey, I'm still the boss.
But still, I got to, man. That's yeah. You got to, man. As they get older, and then I got 3 girls. They run me through the freaking wall. My littlest.
Oh,
It ain't
geez.
about being the biggest in the house. It's the littlest with the biggest voice. You can't tell her nothing.
Yep. I got a 5.5-year-old. Yeah. You want to know who runs the show when she's here? It ain't me.
yeah, I can imagine.
Yes, sir. I see, Grimm. You live in the bachelor life, man. You get to kick back, relax, work, hang out, chill with the
Yep.
community. No
Yep.
stress.
Yeah,
No
yeah. Like I said,
stress.
I had a rough childhood, so and I do a lot of self work on myself. So personally, with the way the economy is and stuff like that, I don't think it makes sense for me personally to have
Yeah.
a kid. Not against anyone that has kids. I think kids
Right.
are great, but yeah, I just think it's not in the cards for me.
Yeah, and without diving in, I know we had a great conversation, one time just about family and kids and stuff, and we both grew up really, really rough childhoods, and
Yeah.
I've had children come into my life, and and I was same fears, man. In the world that I grew up in and the world that I see, it's so scary raising children right now, and even bringing a child into the world and just hoping that they got 10 fingers and 10 toes, and then
Yeah.
erratic, this, once you have a kid, it feels like your heart's literally been ripped out of your chest and it lives outside of your body now, and you're doing everything you can to protect it. And the world's tough, man. And again, that's why I am the way I'm on here. I got my kiddos going to be watching. There's footage. My name's tied to this. I don't want my kids come back and be like, Dad, why are you cussing that guy out, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you're
Or
doing
like,
this online.
Yeah, or like one of their friends sees it and then bullies them at, school
Right?
because,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Our actions have impact, man. That, like you said, those waves, they make motions, man. And I believe
Oh,
in
yeah.
butterfly effect. I believe in karma, and I believe in, just trying to do unto others as you want to be done to you. And even then, when that thing is not done to you, you can't react the way that they treated you. You know what I mean? That just
Yep.
makes you, scoop down in the same.
Yep. A lot of people live in a reactionary state instead of,
Oh, yeah.
processing it and then dealing with it and then, giving their feedback. They just react to it. Everyone is so reactionary.
Dang, Gibo said that he's 6 foot and his 15-year-old son is 3 inches taller than him. Yeah, when you start looking up to your kids, you gotta get good with your words, man.
or really good at leg kicks.
Turn into Boo Cow.
Yep. Start
Heck
dropping
yeah,
the knees.
man. Heck yeah. Hey guys, well, I feel like we could sit here and laugh and chat it up for hours. I know you guys have been on all day. Grimm, you did what? Was it 200 laps today?
110 laps.
110 laps.
Yeah. It's like 165 miles or something like that.
No, you're erratic. You just got off a race before you got in here, didn't you?
I got off of attempting a race, yeah, but my game just keeps kicking me out of every race. So
Such
yeah.
as tech, man. Every day it feels like I got some. Last night my block was just out of place, and everybody kept telling me, hey, your block's out of place, your block's out of place. I need to start learning that less is more. I keep trying to come up with new things. Are there any advice you guys want to give to new streamers? Erratic, you touched on, just starting it, having the confidence. Again, Grimm, you guys touched on, having the confidence, being genuine. I always like to finish out with, my final question. If you could go back, to when you started and all the eyes of the people who are trying to start and work, and even me, myself, I love this bit of feedback. What's something you would go back and tell yourself, knowing what you know now? What do you think is the most important feedback for a new streamer?
From my perspective, because it's different for a streamer and for like if your main thing is putting out videos, right? And I mean, I put
I
out a
think somebody
video
wants to get their face on YouTube in general.
see, but it's still different because
True.
to me, so I put out a video almost every single day. I've missed a couple of days here or there over the course of the last year. We'll just say every day over the course of the last year because it's close enough. While the frequency is good and it helps with the algorithm stuff, it only takes you so far. So if I could go back and give myself advice as a video creator, it would be put out videos less frequently but higher quality content, right? Learn how to edit a video, learn how to make something more engaging than just what you're seeing. And if you can do that, put out a video once a week that is high quality, had a lot of time and energy and investment put into it, right? From a investment from a time perspective, put into it, that will do more for you than one kind of average video every day. On the flip side of that, with streaming, I think that it is more important that you be engaging than necessarily how good you are at the game. So I think in a live setting, engagement is key. I think that in a recorded setting, quality is key.
Dude, the chat's on fire right now. Erratic. I'm chat's on fire. Erratic, you're absolutely right. Sorry, you guys. I think you guys are seeing. We just had 5, 5, and 5. Grimm, you're a legend, brother. I appreciate you guys. But Erratic, so that was something early on that I noticed that you were doing is you were coming back, and Grimm, you do it too. You guys come back and you'll take a race, you'll do a voiceover, you'll add a little bit of, kind of build up to it, couple different, definitely a couple different looks at, like where it's from your perspective, couple different camera angles. And it seems like you do something as simple as that. You take something you've kind of already done, recycle the content. You don't have to go work so hard on trying to make new stuff. Make what you got a little bit better. And it doesn't take much. What kind of programs are you guys using to do that? Is there something specific?
For me, I don't have a lot of time because I do have a full-time job. So I work during the week. So the only time that I have to make content is during the weekend. So I try to maximize that time by also recording my live streams. So I don't have to go back and record the live stream or like anything like that afterwards. I'm recording the whole time. So I just take that recording, load it into my video editing software, slice out the little bits that I want, put on, the stuff that I want to put on, and then that's good. Because the majority of the time, I know a lot of people say it is recycled content. It is recycled content in a way, but
that's a good thing. Recycling is good.
But the majority of people that stop by your streams are in and out within 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah, check your average view durations.
Yeah. You might get one every now and then that stays for a half hour, 30, 45 minutes, whatever, and then they're out.
Right.
But most of the viewers that come in are only there for a quick second. They're there to check it out, see if they want to like it. Maybe they're busy, they'll subscribe, check it out later. So they don't even see the race that you're gonna post later during the week.
Right.
So in their eyes, it's not recycled; it's new content to them.
Good
So
point. Very good
you just
point.
have to look at it that way. A lot of the viewers watching live streams, they're in and out.
They're
So
hopping around, and everybody's real
yeah.
about it. I think what I've tried to do lately, because in the beginning, trying to figure out, and this is one of the points that I think is super important for newcomers. And shout out to like Wrench Wench, who's having amazing success right now. A lot of other people that I've seen. You go in, you say hi, you be genuine. I think it's definitely important to spend, especially if you're new, to spend some time and try to build those relationships and network a little bit before you go jumping around too much. And then after the live content information, we all see it. We all see the comments come up. We all see the engagement. We all see, who's watched and how long. And if you check your analytics, you learn that stuff. It's really good for the host to put out, I think, for your highlights, clips like that, get your shorts out, because it helps draw people in to go back and find kind of the build up to that race, what it was like after that race, or kind of that event and stuff. So I think it definitely helps you guys, if you're taking this advice, to put out those short form videos to bring people into your long form videos. And I think you'll definitely see your live count ticker will get higher and people start hanging out more. One thing I've noticed too is you got a lot of people out here who are the top dogs, and respect to them. They are amazingly fast. They're amazingly insane. I don't think anybody should have to put the pressure on themselves. And I know this, I'm guilty of this, putting too much pressure on achieving that level of success to have a successful stream. Your buildup and your growth and all those things are just as important. And there's more people who are going through what you're going through than are going through, say, like, the Key or Digit or Rory. Those guys are so far established that it's really nice to have some people that you can kind of just be real with. And I think you guys do a really good job at showing, hey, this is real life racing.
Yep. Absolutely. I try to keep it as real as possible. If you see me off camera in real life, you're gonna get the same version of me. I
Yes,
have
sir.
good days and bad days, but my overall version is the same. How I deal with people on stream is the same way I deal with people in life, and
Yep.
I just try to keep a good attitude about it and give people the benefit of the doubt.
I try to tell people I'm a handshaker, man.
Yep.
Every person I try to meet, especially if I pop, and I like to find new streams. I like to see somebody who's got one person watching, just started, like, hey, dude, what's up, man? Like, cool to see, what are you doing? Just check this out. And I like to shake people's hands. Is one thing about being in kind of the trade show biz is, and if they, you learn right off the vibe, like, hey, you don't like me, that's cool. It's all right. Don't got to be negative. Just move on. So, heck yeah, man. Any advice you would give? Any other advice you guys would give? Go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
A tip for a tip for people doing YouTube live streams is where you make the money.
Live streams.
That's where the gifted subs come in. That's where usually people super dono, they super chat and stuff like that. Your videos is more for AdSense, and AdSense is pennies.
Right.
I would not worry about making money on AdSense whatsoever.
You said that to me once because you were playing music, and I was like, oh, what about this? You're like, dude, don't even worry about that.
Yeah, you want to filter people to your live streams. The more people you get to the live streams, the better.
Right.
That's where, one, you'll build more loyalty fans, for sure. They get to see more of you, for hours on end. They get to see your personality. They get to see who you are. The videos is just more of like those people that come in, come out real quick, maybe you get a couple loyalty people, but that's more of like algorithm based.
Right.
The live stream is where you're trying to build your family.
Right.
That's where you're trying to build your brothers, your race community, stuff like that.
And then filtering that kind of into Discord so that you get that engagement offline too, because none of this would have been possible. We all met on YouTube, but Discord's been just an amazing resource to be able to connect outside. I know you guys have your G&E Pit Lane channel that you guys co-own. I just started a channel, just kind of getting familiar, but all of this is possible with communication on Discord. So I encourage people to try to find those links and those socials, because that's what really builds that community on the outside. And I've seen communities do amazing things for each other. You look at, even this community. We always like to shout out the Hogston's community and just everybody out there that's doing good things, man. Shout out to you guys. Heck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my Discord's full of people right now. We got Yaki, Ruthless, Hogston, Sparks, the Viking. We got everyone up in there. So, yeah, it's great, and you can bounce around
For
to the
sure,
different
Gibo.
the different Discord communities and find what game you like. We're all connected somehow, one way or another. We're all in different Discords. We're all connected. It's a big spider web. No matter what game you play, how fast you are, where you're at in skill level, anything like that. Any one of these communities you jump into, you'll find your home somewhere.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I mean, there's a place for everybody. And
Absolutely,
I tell people, man, if it's not the place for you, don't get caught up on it. Just go somewhere else. If you come onto my channel and you don't like the vibe, or I'm just not the guy you like you could go find another one. That's fine. It's the same thing I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And one last piece of advice for anyone that wants to do YouTube and struggling with any sort of mental health issue, trust me, just hit the stream button or hit the record button. Trust the process. Do it.
And I think it takes some strong people, to say, like, I think, and as being, working in psychology and having a psychology degree and being a psychologist, I think people sometimes look at me like, oh, you got it all together, or you don't. Dude, I struggle with my own mental health. My family struggles with mental health. It's something that I don't mess with when it comes to other people, and if I see it, I try to call it out. I try to distance myself from that. But I've told my community on just a personal level in our pregame shows, like, this gave me a little bit more of a purpose, and it's become something a little bit more than I expected it to become. And I've fallen in love with my community, and I've really made genuine friends, and I spent a lot of time, especially after these shows, talking to people and getting to know people. And I think that's what I wanted to do, man, is I wanted to show people that, hey, we're real people. I saw a lot of, trying to find my purpose on YouTube, like everybody, and bringing my background into it and just trying to share stories, because I feel like the more people get to know people, the more people know why we're here and what we're trying to do. First, they'll treat us, they'll come correct when they come into our channels. Hopefully they speak about us correctly, and they when they hear our name, they know that there's a person attached to it. It's not just Grimm Legion Gaming, man. This is a person who's passionate about his community, who's passionate about his people, who's passionate about himself. It's not just Erratic GT. It's these are people. It's not just Viking King. It's not those logos, that there's stories behind it. And I encourage everybody to communicate, to talk. If you do have, any kind of mental health issues or anything like that, man, feel free to reach out. I've had a lot of people that I've talked to just on the side, and it helps me just as much as it helps them. And I hope that these behind the wheels are helping people to kind of learn those stories and come together as a community. Now we have 6 different communities between Papa's House of Games, Hogston GT, Greasy Sam Squatch, Eric Be the Realist, Erratic GT, Grimm Legion Gaming. Like, those are 6 communities that kind of understand that, hey, all these people are kind of on the same mission. You can come in and out of these channels and expect a good person. So I appreciate you guys so much for being here and kind of reinforcing that, and just helping people to understand kind of who you guys are and where you guys are coming from.
Yeah, try to do what we can here.
All right,
That's about all we can do.
Dude, we've been running strong for almost an hour and a half. Like I said, I know you guys are tired. I know a lot of people are going to do a lot of other things. We ended up having an amazing conversation. I'll give you guys both the floor. Whoever wants to start, and just kind of say your goodbyes and shout out to whoever you want to shout out to, and then I'll let you guys get going.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I pretty much said all I wanted to say. Some shout outs. Yeah, Early Bird, Yako's channel for sure. We got Ruthless, Marley Diesel. I mean, Hogston. I'm sure I'm gonna miss a few, so I apologize. Blanco, Erratic, Vikings channel, obviously. Sparks, a whole plethora. Yeah, I appreciate everyone that stopped by for the podcast and enjoyed listening to our stories. Hopefully see some of you guys in some other communities and stuff, and yeah, look forward to talking to you guys a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to pretty much all the same people. Grimm said, I'll throw Rory in there too, even though everybody already knows him, just because, he gave me that initial bump off the ground and really kind of got the channel moving. Just prior to talking to him, I was at 20, maybe 20 subscribers, maybe. And next thing I knew, I was at 100, thanks to him. So, yeah, definitely shout out to Yako, though. If you guys don't go to Early Birds with Yako
man, you're
Manek
missing
on
out.
YouTube, you don't understand how much you are missing out on. Absolutely incredible energy, fantastic guy. Getting really close to 500 subs. And if anybody, if I can think of anybody that deserves it, Yako deserves 500 subs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's, I think that's about it from me.
Heck yeah. Big shout out to Yako again. I hope he sees it. I hope he knows we're a fan of him. I told him, I said, I want you on the show. And he was like, no, I don't have enough numbers. I'm not this. I said, dude, nobody cares about the number next to your name. And I was telling this to another streamer. I won't say him out, but I think he's watching here. He is here. The number next to your name don't matter. Rory's story is no greater than your story. Super's story is no greater than your story. Nobody's story is more greater than your story. Everybody's story matters. Everybody is a grown man. And I tell this to people. You are all grown men, grown women. And when you come on here, nobody's number matters. The same way as you don't carry yourself through the world basing your name on each other, basing your reputation on each other's billfold. You come in, you just have integrity. You be a good person. You're going to meet good people. People are going to treat you good. I want to get these stories out here. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for being on Behind the Wheel, episode 5. You guys made this one of the best episodes. Tied for first, for sure. The doubleheader was awesome. I know I'll see you guys here soon, man. If you guys got any other races or anything coming up, man, I look forward to it. I'll be dropping links in the description, man. But I'm going to let you guys get out of here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
All right, brother. Take care.
Later, y'all.
Take care, everybody.
Man, those are some amazing dudes, man. GNE, the Power Squad, the fantastic Forza duo. Man, what an amazing stream. Thank you guys. 28 people in here right now. I haven't checked the ticker or anything like that, but I know we almost got emotional a couple times. I think some of us did get emotional. There's a lot of stories out there, man, that people need to hear. There's a lot of reasons why people are sitting here and communicating with the world. And I know if you go through your live subscriptions and you look through things and you see people, there's a lot of people out there who are doing this to help. And I want to be one of those people. And we were speaking out against cyberbullying. And I think we're going to get involved in starting a campaign against cyberbullying and protecting those with mental health disorders and trying to promote that positive growth in the YouTube community. I want you guys to know that no matter the arguments that we have or anything like that, it's in the past. It's all forgiven. I hope you come back on the stream, and I hope we can find a way to mix. I'm not the best racer. I'm a human. I get frustrated, as we all do. I want you to know that I forgive everybody, and I hope that you forgive me too. I'm trying to be the best host that I can be, and I hope these Behind the Wheels are bringing you an inside scoop on just how passionate people are about promoting positivity and just being good people. And if you're doing that, man, reach out to me. Hit me up on the Discord. If you want to get on Behind the Wheel, I'd love to have you. We're trying to do more series. We're trying to do more things. Constantly trying to grow. It's been a long week. Hopefully everybody in the United States had a happy Thanksgiving, had warm meals and warm hugs. If you didn't, praying for you. I hope that comes to you. Everybody who's out here today, big shout out to everybody that threw out the gifted memberships. Shout out to Yil. Shout out to Grimm. Shout out to Zilla. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Everybody, there's so many people here who have come in. John, thank you guys for coming in. To the new subscribers and everybody new to the channel. I'm Travis. They call me the Viking King. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm out.